album review and interview them doing the Flit and Hills and Horns and Anthony Chopin and Metal Hammer. So cool. Alrighty. So let's get down. And can you state your full name?
Corey Boulder.
There you go. It's very French. Very French. Very good. Okay. Mayhem so far. Coolest thing that's happened so far on Mayhem.
Oh man, it's been a great tour. Shows have been awesome. I think some of the best times we've had so far on this tour is the section of the tour that we got to play on the main. We've been playing on the main stage because that's kind of like what we wanted to do the whole tour, and then they did this whole like split it up between bands and stuff.
Very cool. Well, that's awesome that they're giving everyone a chance.
So it's us, Machine Head, and when In Flames was on it, they actually didn't even get to play the main stage because I don't think they wanted to, and then they ended up having to go home. So, but it's been really great, being able to play in front of new people that we probably wouldn't have playing the side stages probably wouldn't have got to play in front of. So it's been a really cool tour, and so just some of the shows have just got to be the shows have definitely been the highlight of the tour, and it's just been just our record came out yesterday.
Oh, it came out yesterday?
Yeah, it came out yesterday, and it's just been
Have you heard anything of how it's going record sales wise, and just downloads and hits on the videos and stuff like that?
It's been the response has been very overwhelming, like positive compared to the last couple records. This record's just got a good vibe around it and a good buzz, and it's just came out yesterday, but it's everywhere, like at least on iTunes and stuff. It's been like charting in like every country around the world in the top 10, #1 in the rock charts and stuff. So fan response has been amazing. So it's just been like waking up every day to just shit ton of emails and just cool shit happening. It's just like, all right, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice way to wake up.
It's been ever since it came out yesterday. We had a great show yesterday. A couple bands had to cancel, so we ended up getting the day our record comes out. We usually play for like 30 minutes on the main stage. We got to play for an hour.
Nice.
So I was like, we're just like, hey, you guys don't know us, but you're gonna know us by the end of the day because we're gonna be playing for a while. But it's been really good ever leading up to the record, and then the record coming out. It's just been like really, really killer stuff happening. So everyone's like just really having a good time.
Absolutely, and leading into that, oh my God, I love the video, love the single, the artwork, the single's amazing, absolutely, best thing I've heard in metal for so long. And I actually was just Googling it yesterday. I was completely overwhelmed, especially the music video. Tell me about how filming it, idea, concept for it, how you held your breath underwater or looking into the camera, things like that.
The video, just in general, the whole art direction for this record has been worked on for a long time. Like we definitely wanted to, going into this record, we just wanted to branch out of just what we've already done and just kind of what's kind of like the typical look for just metal in general, of what we thought was just kind of like the typical metal thing. It's like, and then we never really liked any of our past music videos except for the last couple where we kind of got a little bit more interesting, I guess, with adding some more visual stuff to it that made it a little more fun. But this one, Matt was very inspired for the whole recording process and writing everything. It was more inspired by movies than music. So we definitely wanted to do more outside the box for a music video. We didn't want to do the typical band playing in a room video, which we've done a bunch of times, and just a lot of bands like, new music video, you watch it for about like 15 seconds and you pretty much like, no, I know what the video is going to be like, just watching them play.
Not to call yourself out by yourself.
It's like we've done those videos before, and it's just like, why do another one or do something stupid or just very generic, typical metal. It's like not much thought put in like a lot of music videos. So we kind of came up with this concept. We want to do something very we didn't want to play in it. We want to do something that to extend upon the artwork and the music. We wanted the video to be, we wanted everything to be cohesive. So we wanted the video to kind of go along with what the whole big picture of the record is. So we're trying to take the vibe of everything and kind of create this whole visual world that goes along with the record. Instead of having a soundtrack to the film, you got the film and the soundtrack together. Everything's working together to create a bigger picture, bigger piece of art than just throwing out a new CD of a new song. There's more involved with the record than just the music, and we wanted to kind of, we've always put all the effort into the music, and we always felt like the art and the album cover and the videos, everything was just kind of like second thought. Like, it was just like, we have to do it, but no one really had like a vision for it. We had a more clear vision of what we wanted to do as a band, so we kind of took that up. We wanted to, you know, get the visual side of everything up to par with the music, and just make it more of a special release and have everything really, you know, work together. So there's a lot of work. You know, we worked on the music a lot, but the artwork was a long process as well. But it, you know, we were able to achieve what we were looking to do.
Well, the video is very enticing. You really do have to watch the entire video to see it all, the culmination of the end where everyone comes out of the water. That's the most spectacular payoff, you know, for watching the whole video.
Well,
really
after this tour, we're actually shooting another video that continues the story.
Yes, that's.
So.
I was actually wondering continuation of. Can you tell us anything about that?
Not really. We're
No
filming
spoilers,
it, but
no
well,
spoilers.
I guess the way we're doing our music video is very lost because we just kind of we got to do it. We just kind of wing it and kind of write it as we go and kind of throw in new ideas and stuff like that. So it's not like a pre-planned. Like, we kind of have a basic idea of what the outline of it's going to be, but actually the shots and what we're doing in the video is very just kind of like inspiration at the moment, and just kind of like, what if we did this instead of this? And it's just kind of like. And because we're very, very good friends with the people, like the art people that we worked with, and also the guy who does our music videos. So it's like we have a very good collaborative thing going on. So it's very kind of spur of the moment, just kind of like throwing ideas out. So not really sure. Matt's the big buff into the music video kind of like art direction, or what we're gonna take it, and he wants to do like 10 videos or something and make like a long movie. But the next one is either gonna be something that's like continuation of the video, or this one might be like a prequel of like what happens to get to the In Waves video. So
Nice.
It's gonna be interesting to do it. It's a shorter song, so you're gonna have to. I think it's gonna be a lot more fast paced instead of slow motion cinematic like In Waves was. I think it's gonna be a lot more fast action, fast paced, like a lot more like action vibe going on. So I'll have to wait and see what actually happens. But
there you go. Well, I thought it was really mature as a metal band that used, you know, kind of more relaxing earth vibes instead of, you know, hell, brimstone, and fire. I thought it was very mature that you used waves instead of flames. Was that something I only kind of thought about? You know, everything is themed with water instead of fire. Just blue colors. I don't know. That's something I picked up on. You know, just relaxation in it.
We just the kind of inspiration for the look, like everything we're doing, like with the special edition with the record, has like a documentary, the making of the record. Everything's in black and white. We wanted to be very kind of artsy, kind of timeless, and black and white. Like kind of like, it's cool because you can look at the pictures in the booklet or on the album cover, and it's in black and white. Like it makes it timeless because you don't know if this could be like ancient times or this could be like in the future. You can't tell. And the black and white gives everything a very timeless feel that we're looking for, that you can just look at like a landscape with nothing but just like rocks and trees, and it just like says something without having to have like some crazy shit going on. So we just want to be, we want everything to be minimalistic, but kind of artsy in the same way that kind of makes you think like, what's going on here? And we wanted everything to kind of have like a very like post-apocalyptic, like dystopia kind of like rundown. You don't know if something happened like that destroyed everything or made everything just go back to like zero and shit like that. So it's wanted it to be kind of like mind like inspiring, like kind of thought provoking, and with the pictures and the video kind of makes you like wonder what the hell's going on and try to come up with your own idea of what's going on in the story of the record and stuff like that. So
I'm definitely intrigued. I'm trying to find out, you know, what's next after that. Definitely what's next. I wanted to talk a little, got Mayhem going on. We have decades and decades of musicians on this tour. For those who weren't around, you know, in the Megadeth early days or anything like that, what's the little Mayhem history lesson that everyone needs to know to get them through the festival?
You definitely, you know, there's a lot of great bands, a lot of different styles and stuff, but, you know, I grew up when I was like 14, like got into metal and guitar playing. Megadeth was like, holy shit, like it just kind of blew my mind when I heard them. So we've never toured with them before, so it's like if any of the younger kids that are like maybe gotten into metal from some of the side stage bands or something like that, or maybe us.
Mm-hmm. Just
I know-
realize where it came from. And
Yeah, I think it's like it's definitely because Megadeth is like, you know, the guitar playing in that band is they're the
yeah.
they're the on the pedestal of show everyone how it's done.
I think they're the epitome of everything everyone respects and aspires to be. You know, maybe not everything about them, but definite qualities of them.
It's pretty must be a pretty I guess the achievement thing of like whatever, but it's like to be a guy that pretty much created a whole genre of
Yeah.
metal. It's pretty it's like give yourself a pat on the shoulder because it's like you don't really have anyone to learn from. It's like you just kind of like your crazy imagination and just being on this tour. I go out and watch them play and stuff, and it's just like, I love that band. And then like even on the bus, like everyone's like, dude, we're on tour with Megadeth and you're playing Megadeth on the bus. I'm like, I'm playing all the songs we're not playing live. And we just listen to some of the old stuff. It's just like, man, it's like how the fuck do you think of guitar riffs that fucking whacked out? And it's just really cool. It's like I haven't had a chance to like pick his brain or anything, but it's really cool to be on a tour or in the presence of like people that fucking like changed music and changed the way like a lot of us, like a lot of bands on this tour probably wouldn't like have the same kind of style of metal if it wasn't for them or Slayer, all those guys. Because and we did this tour the other year with Slayer, so it's like every time we jump on Mayhem, it's one of the big four playing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to have kind of like the classic bands, and then also have like a bunch of the new stuff mixed in, and it kind of shows you the whole way metal's kind of progressed and changed over the years, and you get to hear like the new generation of people's twist on things. So it's a lot of fun. So I think so definitely check every band out if you got a chance. If you want to stand out in the heat all day.
If you'd like to die and go to metal hell, you absolutely can. Speaking of the change and the variation in metal throughout the years, I'm so proud to be a woman in the metal industry. It's exploded, especially we've got Alexis Straight Line Stitch on this tour. What's your opinion? Do you like women metal? Do you appreciate the bands? Do you like what they're doing? Is there something you can comment on that? For the explosion that's happening right now with metal bands fronted by women and women picking up instruments and being in those bands. Yeah,
there's always been in hard rock and metal, like there's a lot of like female singers, like especially like a lot of the European bands like Nightwish, but it's cool like now there's like the females fronting bands that they're not like all doing the opera stuff. They're actually doing like the brutal screaming stuff, which is cool because they kind of like crossed into a new territory and stuff, because there's a ton of like the opera singing metal bands and stuff that do really well over in Europe, but I think especially over here it's kind of progressed and been I guess exploded in like the people knowing more about it, is because I think over here like the opera singing kind of metal stuff doesn't really kind of work, but a lot of the people in the U.S. like the combination of like the screaming stuff and also just normal singing, and I think with more female singers doing the screaming stuff, it kind of like appeals to the younger new music generations because they're really into that kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of like people are like, oh, there's actually female singing in bands. It's like there has been, you just didn't know about it, or that kind of music just never really translated over here. So we've done a lot of touring. We toured with Arch Enemy a bunch, and also Straight Line Stitch. Pause.
Just pause. There you go.
So you can walk through. They're changing tapes.
The intermission.
I'll edit it out later.
Intermission and okay.
Yeah, and then
I definitely appreciate the thrash aspect more of it, just because Women in America, it's so hard with the thrash, basically. We're not used to it, and seeing women do what they do up on stage is very inspiring for the whole industry, and I think it's going to change a lot of things. So
I think over in last time we played a festival in Belgium, I remember seeing a poster. There's like a whole like 2 or 3 day metal fest that it's all the bands are just all bands that are fronted by females. It's called the what is it called? It's like something like the the female voices of Metal Fest or something like that. And it was
Yeah.
all those female fronted bands from all different, and there's like bands I've never even heard of. But I was like, man, you look at the poster, and like there's a lot of bands fronted by a woman now, and it's, you know, to be able to make your own fest out of it, it just shows like it's kind of metal's, you know, not just the boys club anymore.
Yeah.
Like the females are getting more into it. So.
There you go. Very cool. All right. What do you guys strap yourselves with? I see you have your baby over here. Introduce us to this over here.
That's my Jackson Kelly.
Jackson Kelly.
This is
Nickname for it?
No, that's actually the
It's
model
my
name.
Jackson. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jackson. I don't call all my guitars by female names or
Okay,
anything,
she'll
but
do.
that's the Kelly. I use that for, you know, just warming up in the dressing room, and then I just play all Jacksons, and then on stage I use the Flying Bees and stuff. So those are my weapon of choice for playing. So
very cool. All right. If you were playing one of your songs for a fan who was having the worst day of their life, what would you play?
Worst day of their life. That's a tough
Worst / best. No, you can take it either way. You know, most uplifting or.
If they were really pissed off and having a bad day, probably off the new record, I'd pick Chaos Reigns.
Chaos Reigns.
That's a really pissed off sounding song. So that might make you punch a few things and get your anger out.
There you
If
go.
they're having a good day, I don't know, pretty much just,
More Chaos Reigns and get pissed.
I don't know, none of our songs are like super happy, but
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
if you're in a
there's
good
a
mood,
lot
I
of-
just pop, like, usually if I'm in a really good mood, I just crank like whatever my favorite records are and just fucking party.
Well, I think metal. It's funny because, in my opinion, metal comes from a vulnerable place because everybody's so conquering and ever avenging and things like that. So even, you know, if it's a tough song, it has positive connotations that you'll fight back and you'll win back from it. So, yeah, cool. Message for your fans from the new record.
New record's out, iTunes and whatever store still sells CDs. Go find it there or
The
order
coasters.
online. But we've got lots of stuff. There's videos online. Got videos and songs to. I think there's a free song on iTunes you can download, and there's songs on our website. So if you're unfamiliar with the band or haven't heard anything from the new record, go preview it, check it out, and make sure you pick it up and support some metal. And we also have a first active rock song on radio. So if there's a station in your
Nice.
area that plays hard rock, metal, you know, whatever, call up and request songs built to fall. So it's been getting a good response so far. So just need people to keep requesting that shit.
Very cool. Well, there you go. Get your trivia. There you go. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Yay.